वेलकम एंड वेलकम बैक टू आवर यूट्यूब चैनल। आज हम लोग करने वाले हैं स्लॉट 1 ऑफ ईयर 2023। तो देखते हैं क्या कहता है आज का हमारा क्वेश्चन। Faculty members in a management school can belong to one of the four departments: finance and accounting, marketing and strategy, operations and quants, and behavior and human resources. The numbers of faculty members in FA, MS, OQ and BH are 9, 7, 5 and 3 respectively. Professor Parkrasi, Professor Qureshi, Professor Ramaswamy and Professor Samuel are four members of the school's faculty who were candidates for the post of the dean of the school. Only one of the candidate was from O and Q. Okay. So every faculty member, including the four candidates, voted for the post. In each department, all the faculty members who were not candidates voted for the same candidate. The rules for the elections are listed below. There cannot be more than two candidates from a single department. So if there is one department, there can be only two candidates from that department. A candidate cannot vote for himself or herself. Faculty members cannot vote for a candidate from their own department. After the election, it was observed that Professor P received 3 votes, Professor Q received 14 votes, Professor R received 6 votes, Professor S received 1 vote. Professor P voted for Professor R, Professor Q voted for Professor S, Professor R voted for Professor Q, and Professor Q voted for Professor P. Okay. Now, let's say these are the professor and I am taking it as PQRS. And this is the department FA, MS, OQ, and one more department was BH. Okay, and here also we are taking P, Q, R and S. Okay, now we are given the total votes. Okay, now we are given the number of faculty members in the respective departments. Okay, so in F we are given 9, in M we are given 7, in O we are given 5, and in B we are given 3. Okay, now we are given which professor got how many votes. Okay, so P received 3, Q received 14, then 6 and 1. Okay, so this received 3, 14, 6 and 1. Okay, okay. Now Professor P voted for Professor R. Okay, so Professor P here voted for Professor R. Okay, so he will not vote for anybody else. Now Professor Q voted for Professor S. Professor Q voted for Professor S. So other all will be gone. Now Professor Q voted for Professor S. Professor R voted for Professor Q. Professor R voted for Professor Q. Okay. And Professor S voted for Professor P. Okay. Now we want total 3 votes here, 14 votes over here. R will get 6 and S will get 1. Okay. Now in F we have 9 faculties. Okay, so the number of faculties in F is 9, in M is 7, in O is 5 and in B is 3. Now we are told that there cannot be more than 2 candidates from a single department. Okay, suppose in F we can have max to max 2 candidates. Okay, so how many people can vote? Minimum 7 can vote and maximum 9 can vote. Okay, so either 7 or 9 can vote here. If I talk about M, 5 or 7 can vote here. If I talk about O, 3 to 5 can vote over here. And if I talk about B, 1 to 3 can vote over here. Okay. Now, since P needs 3 votes and all the department vote for one particular candidate only. Okay. Now, if one vote is given from here and all the department will vote for one particular person only, we will automatically get this cancelled, and since there are 1 to 3 faculties who will be voting for any candidate, so obviously if we want a total of 3 over here, so 1 we are getting from S, exactly 2 will vote from this. Okay, so we got that exactly 2 will vote from here. Okay, so this all will get cancelled. Now for S, if only one person voted, the one person was Q. Okay, so all this will get cancelled. Now, 5 people from M voted for R. Okay, so everything gets cancelled over here. Now, for Q, we want 14. Okay, 1 we are already having here. Now, what we can do is 4 people, if they vote from here, and all 9, if they will vote from here, will get a total of 14. 9 plus 1, 10 plus 4, 14. Okay. Okay. So, all 9 of them voted for Q. So, there were 0 candidates from F. Okay. 5 voted for R from M. So, there were 2 candidates from M. Okay. Now, 4 voted for Q over here. Okay. So, there were 1 candidate from O and 1 candidate from B. Okay. Now, if P voted for R, P and R cannot be together. Okay. If R voted for Q, R and Q cannot be together. Okay. So that means R and S can be together. Okay. Now, if Q voted for if Q voted for S, Q and S also cannot be together. This means P and Q and R and S can make a pair. Okay. Now, for M having 2 candidates, what 2 candidates can be there? Now, since M voted for R, R cannot be in M. Okay. So, M can have P and Q. Okay, this have 0 candidates and this has 1 candidates, so it can be R or S or R or S. Okay, I hope this much is clear to you. Now let's move to our first question. Which 2 candidates can belong to the same department? So P and Q can belong to the same department. Option B. Which of the following can be the number of votes that Professor Q received from a single department? So Professor Q received 9 and 4. Okay, so option C. If Professor S belongs to B and H, which of the following statements are true? If Professor S belongs to B and H, then Professor P belongs to M and S. Yeah, this is true that Professor P belongs to M and S and Professor R belongs to O and Q. So if S belongs to B and H, then R will belong to O and Q. So both statements A and B. What base can be concluded about the candidate from O and Q? It was either P and Q, P or Q? No. It was Professor Samuel, it was Professor Ramaswamy, it was either Professor R or Professor S. So option D. Which of the following statement is are true? Non-candidate from S, M and S voted for Q. M and S voted for Q. M and S voted for Q. No, M and S voted for R. Okay, this is wrong. Non-candidates from F and A voted for Q. Non-candidates from F and A voted for Q. F and A voted for Q. Yes. So, only statement B. Okay. So students, this set is completed. I hope you like my explanation. Do like, share and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.